moderator to steer today's insightful discussion on leadership, transformation, and the future of work.
Our distinguished speakers are accomplished leaders who have driven transformative change across organizations and industries. Drawing on their expertise in leadership, technology, talent management, and entrepreneurship, and organizational excellence, they will share valuable perspectives on navigating change and shaping the future of work. The true success of this forum lies in the exchange of ideas it inspires. We encourage you to engage actively, ask thoughtful questions, and connect with our panelists and fellow participants to enrich the shared learning experience. IIM Kashipur extends its heartfelt gratitude to our speakers, faculty, organizing committees, student volunteers, and sponsors for making this event possible. With that, we warmly welcome our esteemed panelists and moderator. We hope Sangam, the Executive Forum 2026, inspires meaningful dialogue, collaboration, and innovative leadership for a sustainable future. The floor is now open for the panel discussion. Over to Professor Rehan Abbasi.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome. It's a great morning. We've had some rains. The weather is perfect for you guys to be outside, but the fact that you're choosing to be inside speaks for itself, right? And we have a galaxy of stars as we have over here. When I remember to times when I was doing my postgraduate diploma in rural management, some of the most valuable advice that probably saw me through my career, though I did not choose to work in rural management, sort of as a practitioner for long, still happens to be from some of those who knew the industry, who knew what is going to happen, and they visited the campus and they made some advice, right? I hope you will be getting similar advice and similar words of wisdom from the stars who are present over here today. And, the topic is interesting. It's about talent, which is largely you would think is you guys. But usually, there's a large pool of talent that the professionals we have over here are already handling in their organizations. And, we have people from different facets of the talent, the value chain of talent, right? It's about technology, which definitely is probably shaping much more than it ever has in terms of civilization. And we are at the cusp where we are trying to understand what is it that technology will bring about, right? That question is ever new. The transformation is interesting because the organizations that are reflected over here in terms of the speakers, I will just take a minute to express that in times it's very fashionable to say that we're living in times of uncertainty and volatility. But in fact, each of these organizations represents something that has endured a lot of volatility and uncertainty, right? So the words of wisdom that we're going to hear are going to be much more, useful for us because we are going to hear from people who have been able to do business, register growth, and register their success in these uncertain and volatile environments, right? And with that, I'll probably, just start with round, and maybe the first round we can just, each one of us can say it's a very generic question. So, all of us will have different perspectives on it. So maybe we can just start with Akshat. Looks all ready to go. So Akshat, can we start with you? Yeah. Okay. So it's it's what we are saying here over here is that talent, technology, and transformation, the topic that we're talking about, are meant to work together. In your organization, where do they create the most tension today? Let's start with the challenges. So it's always easier to talk about.
See, it's always difficult, not today, not tomorrow, but forever. Stakeholder management is one of the key aspects that persists, and bringing everybody onto the table, aligning them, and having shared views, perspectives, so that we create synergies is something that is always challenging. But we have to focus on three key things, and it's a good topic: talent, technology, and transformation. So when these three amalgamate together is when a real transformation happens. And there is where successful business outcomes are seen with enhanced customer values, right? So as you can see in talent, the shelf life of the skills is decreasing day by day, right? The rate of change in a particular technology, the rate of change of disruptions happening in the market, right? take an example of mobile phone industry, how readily the changes are happening and how readily each skill is becoming obsolete day by day, right? So navigating through those is making some certainty in these uncertain environments.
So, hi all. To start with, the perfect example of technology and transformation is our parents. So, my generation basically, when my mom and dad doesn't know what Google Pay look like, what WhatsApp look like, but they have transformed through technology. Now they are aware about using WhatsApp. Even my mom uses Instagram as well. So they are now aware about how the transformation happened. The transformation itself is something you didn't thought, I didn't thought. It's all about reverse to read. Like people are talking over, whatever channels it could be. It could be either internet, either phone or messaging, or maybe YouTube short videos. But transformation is happening, and so do in IT industries. So I may not sound very in terms of very particular about words or everything because my forte belongs to campus recruitment. My forte belongs to only speaking to new talent and new generation, emerging talent. So we try to gather what are information and how to recruit and why to recruit. That's only two questions I always go for. Why do I recruit and how to recruit? So looking towards I would encourage all of you to have a to a new session that is it should not be a one-way communication. Out of these questions, if you have anything around, you can feel free to ask me. And after this, maybe the panel two will be again one of my friends will be joining, Subramanian. He's from BP. So yeah, even the same answer you get it from him because we only deal with campus, he will feel agree to it. So that as a transformation in IT industry, if I talk about into specifically into operations. You all of you guys are for MBA operations. Either you'll work for analytics, payrolls, or maybe HR, wherever it works. So if you see the legacy has been stopped. The legacy has been stopped and it is transformed to cut short the resources. So that was a transformation is important in terms of talent. Talent is you. And if you don't adapt, you are a useless talent. If you don't transform, then you are a useless talent. That's what the difference is for talent and transformation is important.
Thank you. Is it on you? Alright, so first I would extend my thank to all of you for having us here. Very interesting topic, and I think one of the biggest challenges and also an opportunity